Great to be here today, and I'm so happy that like so many people are standing up for the second Appchain Day. I think I'm filling the gap because the Eigenlayer team was coming, but I think they got a change in their schedule, so they'll come around noon. So I'm filling it up here. It's I think in general, with the first Appchain Day in Denver, we see that there's a great group of enthusiastic people who are like super passionate about Appchains, and we're seeing more and more Appchains coming along. And I'm very happy to see that there is a new cohort, like brand new cohort of speakers signing up today, and there is a really great series of different topics that will be very important to the Appchain ecosystem for the upcoming year. So today I will be sharing some of our progress in decentralized governance tech and how we built anonymous aMACI in decentralized community voting. I think probably you already know about Dora Hacks, and through Dora Hacks we're distributing a lot of funding to the open source developer community and the global hackathon community every year, and we do that through like various mechanisms and the products on the platform, not only through hackathons but also through like crypto native mechanisms like grants, quadratic funding, community governance, bounties, and many more. What we see right now is the amount of funding we're distributing through Dora Hacks is very rapidly increasing every year, and not only in the Web3 community but also beyond Web3 community. So we're seeing frontier tech open source communities adopting the crypto native funding mechanisms through Dora Hacks. And so as we scale open source community funding, it's also important that we build a new kind of governance tech stack for a global distributed community, because the development of decentralized community is pretty fundamental, and the new kind of decentralized communities will need a new kind of governance tech stack. And there are like different perspectives of that. There is a perspective of sovereignty and autonomy, especially in the Appchain world. Like people really care about sovereignty and self-governance. So people care about community governance, and very importantly, people care about privacy and trustlessness. So today I will mostly focus on the privacy and the trustlessness part, which is something we are currently building. What is aMACI? I think I have mentioned it in a few previous talks, and it's a pretty simple yet fundamental process. So there are like in a voting round, there are two groups of people. There are voters and there are operators, and the operators are just like administrators of the voting round. So there are operations happening on-chain and there are operations happening off-chain. So the process is working as follows. So the voters will sign up, and after the voting round begins, they will cast their votes on-chain. But instead of just like posting their votes, they will encrypt their votes with the public key posted by the operator, so that even though their votes are publicly available on-chain, their votes are encrypted, so nobody can see that. And after the voting period, the operator will pull off all the votes and the operator will tally the votes and get the final result. So then the operator will publish the final result without revealing exactly who voted for what. So after that, the operator will generate a zero knowledge proof and verify this zero knowledge proof on the aMACI smart contract on chain. So in this way, that we will have privacy because so there's privacy among the voters because nobody knows who voted for what. So since so Dora Hex was the very first, one of the very first teams that was developing products around aMACI, and I would say the first medium-scale adoption of aMACI was in early 2022 when the Stanford community voted with aMACI to distribute 1 million Spork tokens to their hackathon projects and developers. And after that, we see multiple other communities adopting aMACI. There was the OpenSea Rapid Hackathon, and there was the 0x Hackathon. Under Dora Hex, there's the Dora Grand DAO series where we have the long-term funding program, and once a while there is a voting round, and the voting round is in aMACI. So other than hackathon judging and open source communities, there are other use cases in aMACI. One of the ideas is to use aMACI to improve collusion resistance in quadratic funding, and beyond that, we can also use aMACI to improve general protocol governance. There are protocols that has a lot of disputes, vote bribery, etc. aMACI can help. So given all the benefits from aMACI, it's also important to recognize that the trust assumption of aMACI, the trust of aMACI is not unconditional, right? So what aMACI could offer is on one hand security, because tallied votes have to be correct. So as the operator, you cannot fake votes. And secondly, there is privacy, because vote bribery is pretty hard. However, what could go wrong would come from two kinds of situations. First, if the operator doesn't post anything, the round is not going anywhere. So that's one risk. But the other risk is more severe, right? So the operator could collude because the trust assumption is that the operator has to behave well, and the operator cannot collude. So if the operator colludes, it's often difficult to tell. So that's where anonymous aMACI comes in. So is there a way that we can develop aMACI into a more advanced form, so that we add anonymous features to aMACI and make the trust assumption unconditional? So there has been a lot of discussions from the Ethereum community about anonymous aMACI, and there were multiple ideas of how anonymous aMACI could be achieved. So the Dora team started to work on anonymous aMACI, I think ever since early last year, and the key of achieving anonymous aMACI is a secret operation called deactivating keys. So deactivating key operation existed in traditional aMACI as well. However, the trick here is that when a user deactivates its key, it's gonna be important that the operator doesn't know who actually deactivated the key and registered new key. So, what anonymous aMACI is doing is that we have to make sure that when a user deactivates his or her key and register a new key, the operator doesn't know who owns which new key. So, in order to achieve that, like normally there has to be some multi-party computation involved. But in practice, doing MPC in a aMACI round will be very complicated. So we adopted an idea originally posted by Kobe Girk, which used an algorithm re-randomization function to remove the requirements of MPC so that we can achieve anonymous, we can build anonymous aMACI without MPC. So there are a lot of details. Someone from our research community has put up an article, and it has all the reference to, it has all the links to all the references, and it has the details of our implementation. Yeah, so after we built anonymous aMACI, actually that happened earlier last year. There was no adoption, but the first adoption was earlier this year. I think that was last month in East Vietnam. So East Vietnam hackathon was the first ever hackathon that actually adopted aMACI, and through the aMACI round, we distributed a fairly small but small amount of funding to the hackathon winners. It's like $2,000, but I think in terms of aMACI experiment is quite significant. So in terms of the UI, the key difference of anonymous aMACI is that it's allowing users to reset the key. So this is the UI where the users can reset the key, and surprisingly, we got a lot of enthusiastic community members who registered for the run, and they were participating in the voting process, and in the end, we got 168 people signed up for the aMACI round, and we got a lot of people deactivate and reset their keys. So, so what will aMACI bring us in decentralized voting and governance in general? I think there are three aspects. First, with anonymous aMACI, the operator cannot collude, which is a very good feature. And because of that, we will have better privacy. And that means that the trust assumption of aMACI is kind of removed, and we get kind of the unconditional trust in aMACI. So with this tool, what we will obtain is that anyone can become an operator, and this is a very fundamental feature, because in the previous version of aMACI, we have to rely on the operator. So normally, if you have a community and the community is voting in aMACI, the community has to install an operator, and the operator has to be trusted. But with anonymous aMACI, the operator doesn't have to come from the community, and the operator doesn't have to be trusted. Anyone can become an operator. So with the power provided by anonymous aMACI, we can further integrate anonymous aMACI with Dora Vota. So currently with Dora Vota, we have an implementation of a generalized UI for traditional aMACI. So with the current UI, currently we provide a UI for the operator so that the operator can create a aMACI round pretty easily, and we have the UI for the users to vote in a aMACI round. And very importantly, currently we have the script for the operator where the operator can so the script encapsulated all the complexities of the operator operation. And so if some community wants to host a aMACI, the operator can just run one command, and it was just processed all the votes and tally the votes, and generates a ZK proof, and does the verification. However, with aMACI, this is not needed. So the community can hire anybody they like to host this aMACI for them. So so any developer could be the operator, and we can be the operator. So it's going to be a pretty fundamental change for the communities hosting aMACI voting rounds. Yeah, so with that, I think we should be able to provide more updates in the upcoming months. We will have integration with aMACI into Dora Hack's platform, and we'll have integration with the Dora Vota tech stack. Yeah, so feel free to interact with Dora Vota with this link. And something I would love to emphasize is that if you are a developer or researcher, I think anonymous aMACI is interesting, not only from the product and adoption perspective. It is also interesting purely from engineering and research perspective. So we will have to see more researchers and developers contributing to anonymous aMACI. So if you want to do that, you know where to find us. And lastly, on the right side, so anybody who is here in person can join that group, and we will send you some Dora Vota Dora for the gas fee, so that you can interact with Dora Vota and our aMACI products. All right, that's a presentation for today, and I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the event. Thanks.